They're very adaptable, and actually, most farmers will have a policy for both heat stress and cold stress. So, last week we knew that the weather was going to get extra warm this weekend and today, so we kicked in with our heat stress policy and have got all of those things working across the farm for our animals and for our crops as well.
What's in a heat stress policy? I like that. Sounds good.
So, and the most important thing, we have chicken and cows. So in the dairy, so we're producing milk for the supermarkets. We need to make sure that the cows are in the shade. Our cows are in all the time. So we've got massive fans up in the ceiling and on the sides of the building that are blowing in a nice cold air all the time, making sure that they've got extra water. Cows' milk does drop when they get too hot. So it's really important that we move around the animals really quietly and you check on them a lot as well. The other thing is our cows wear collars so that it feeds back to the computer and tells us if any of our cows are feeling poorly or stressed. So that's good on the cow front.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're using all the technology that's available to us at the moment. And on the chicken front, our chickens are fully housed. So it is vital in this weather that our managers of our chickens have the computers linked to their phones so they can see the temperatures of the houses all the time. We make sure that all the ventilation is blowing through over the birds and the doors are open and they've got plenty of food and water. But I think the most important thing is that any work that you need to do with the animals, you do early in the morning when it's nice and cool, a bit like humans, trying to get your work done nice and early and just checking on them more regularly than you would.
And what about, I mean, the impact on crops? Is that a little bit, is that trickier? Because it's kind of, well, what will be on that front.
It is trickier. I think farmers are used to working around the weather and with it. It's part of their DNA. Farming and growing wouldn't work if we didn't. So luckily for us, if you think back to the spring, we had the most amazing spring,
Yeah.
lovely, warm, wet weather. And most farmers got their crops in and they've all put all those crops, wheat and the vegetables and the fruit had a good set and they've put down their roots and they're really sending down their roots well into the ground and reaching for those damp patches underneath. I think the problem is now with wheat and barley, everybody's going for it and they're combining, and I think we will have superb crop. The struggle probably now is for those that are growing fruit and veg. They're going to have to start irrigating now. We're not in drought. We've only had 6 weeks of dry weather. It's not like 1976 yet, but that's where the suffering is going to happen. And if you look around now, where people have taken their silage, and everybody has had great crops of silage, which is winter grass feed for the cows. We just need that little bit of rain just to put the grass up, and then there's more food for the animals. So that's probably the pinch point at the moment, Claire.
Yeah. Well done. Keep going. Thanks so much, Bridget, for the update. Really appreciate it. Look after yourself. Bridget Christensen there, who farms up near Shepton Mallet.